Jatica. I'm about to share with you a 3-part method which in just 60 seconds a day sparks passion between you and your partner, jumpstarts a woman's libido, extends a man's lovemaking endurance when he gets around to having sex, and intensifies your emotional connection. I'm Ellen Eatough, the Soulful Sex Coach, and I've been helping thousands of individuals and couples enjoy better love lives since 1991. I call this method the 60-second Passion Igniter. It's a first step in establishing a foundation of verbal and nonverbal intimate communication to rapidly move you and your partner toward greater passion and deeper intimacy. First, I'll give you the steps, and then I'll go into more detail about how to implement each one. And if you find what I offer here valuable, then I'll tell you how you can take your love life to the next level of passion, intimacy, and exciting sexual adventure with a special program on a special short-term discount. Now, here are the 3 steps to the 60-second Passion Igniter. Step 1 is a 20-second hug. Step 2 is 10 seconds of kissing. And step 3 is 30 seconds, 15 each, sharing something you appreciate about each other. Rhonda has been married 27 years and has 3 teenagers. She and her husband have been feeling very distant and at odds emotionally. After they did the 60-second Passion Igniter only twice, she said, "It's pretty amazing. I was surprised such a short-term thing could do as much as it did. We definitely felt more connected." Steve and Tammy have been doing this Passion Igniter regularly for many months now, and they say it's often difficult to stop. They enjoy it so much. Since they're usually too busy to take it further at that moment, it keeps the erotic embers burning in anticipation of a later sexual encounter. And Steve underscored the power of step 3. He shared with me that he told a golf buddy whose sex life was tanking how good it made him feel about his marriage and how it can get his friend's sex life back on track. Now, let's get into the specifics for each step. Again, step 1 is a 20-second hug. You want to have a full body, heart-to-heart hug, standing or lying down, or you could be sitting face-to-face on your partner's lap. It totally works if you're fully clothed, which is how most people do it. But naked is great when the opportunity arises. Now, 20 seconds is important. Most men take a woman's relaxation as a signal that the hug is complete, but that's just the first phase. Encourage your partner to continue the hug until you have a chance to fully relax into it and savor it in that relaxed state. Simply wrap your arms around him, ideally with your arms underneath and his on top. For same-sex couples, you can have one arm underneath and one on top. This kind of hug releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone in both partners. Oxytocin helps melt away blocks to intimacy. Brain science has shown that this kind of hug also increases a woman's trust in a man. Let me ask you, how much more could you let go and be open and receptive if you really trusted your partner? An added bonus is that research also shows the oxytocin generated with this kind of hug makes a man less vulnerable to the lures of other women who try to invade his personal space. So how do you get started? Well, one easy way is to simply stand with your arms hanging at your sides and say, "I could use a hug." Then you can say, recent brain science shows a full 20-second hug helps a woman trust a man. Believe me, increasing your trust in him is motivating for a man. You can encourage him to count silently, like 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, until he gets used to how long the 20 seconds is in this situation. I recommend you discuss the process with your partner, or better yet, immediately forward him the email that got you to this video so that he can learn it for himself and then take the lead. You might say something like, "I learned this 60-second method to help us connect and jumpstart the passion between us. Would you like to try it? It would really help me relax into it if you would check it out and lead the way in this exercise." See, that brings out the masculine in him. Step 2 is 10 seconds of kissing. A lot of men simply aren't aware how important kissing is to most women and how great kissing is a real turn-on for a woman. It's a really important form of nonverbal intimate communication. you may have resigned yourself to what you consider less than ideal kissing from your partner. But consider the possibility that it's a two-way street, and you may not be kissing him in the way he would most prefer either. I can teach you and your partner how to kiss each other in ways that would most please both of you, you'd both be most aroused by. But for now, we'll keep it simple. Make this kissing sensual with multiple and varied kisses, not just a 10-second lip lock. Try different kinds of kissing. Explore and have fun. If you haven't been kissing more than a quick peck for a while, that's okay. You can hold off on this step until you've done the hug in step 1 for a few days in a row, and you and your partner naturally start to feel like kissing. In the program I'll tell you about in a moment, you'll discover easy, risk-free ways to fall in love all over again and to learn how to kiss each other in the most exciting ways, and much more. Step 3 is 30 seconds, 15 each, of sharing appreciations for each other. This is a step Steve emphasized to his golf buddy because it makes him feel so good. Now, you've probably been told to tell your partner exactly what you want and need in bed, right? Well, while well-intentioned, this advice is dead wrong. It's just not the best place to start. Why? Well, first, you may not really know what your needs are or how to describe them. Second, you may never have experienced what would most turn you on. And third, if you do know or you would like to explore something with your partner, you may be too embarrassed or too ashamed to admit it at this juncture. Instead, spend this 30 seconds each day sharing appreciations to build a bond of positive communication as a foundation for deeper conversations later on. Trust me on this. If you really want to get to the gold and be able to share your deepest desires and be able to get your partner to share his secret desires with you, start by building a foundation of passion, desire, and emotional connection, and take baby steps toward deeper and deeper conversations. You'll get much farther, much faster this way. Another reason this step 3, sharing appreciation, is so valuable is, again, based in brain science. Dr. Rick Hanson, psychologist and author of Hardwiring Happiness, said the brain is like Velcro for the bad and Teflon for the good. Now, what does this mean? Well, for example, let's say you had a job performance review and your supervisor listed 19 things you're great at and one that needs improvement. Which one will be on your mind all the way home? You see, we're hardwired to be on the alert for the negative, for survival. So, to nourish our relationships, it's important not to assume our partner knows we love them or find them attractive, but rather to strongly emphasize what we appreciate. Unfortunately, we tend to assume our partner knows how much we love and appreciate them, and then we mostly speak about the things that aren't quite right or we want them to do differently. But because the brain is like Velcro for the bad and Teflon for the good, it takes many multiples of positive communications to equal the sticking power of one negative one. For the 60-second Passion Igniter, it's nice to devote a large percentage of these appreciations to things that relate to sensuality or qualities of your partner's strength or leadership. And be sure to also add what that quality or attribute does for you. Knowing how his actions benefit you helps elicit his masculine energy. For example, I love the feeling of your strong arms around me. It makes me feel safe so I can relax. Or at the party last night, I loved it when you made eye contact with me and gave me that sexy little smile from across the room. It made me feel desired and sent a tingle up my spine. Got me to fantasizing what we'd do when we got home. Or I really appreciate that you take out the garbage without me asking. It takes it off my to-do list so I can give you more attention. Or I really appreciate that you listen without trying to fix things when I share what's been going on with me. It helps me trust that I could share my deeper desires with you. Obviously, it's great to be on the receiving end of these expressions of appreciation, but there's an additional benefit. Think about it. When we need to come up with something to appreciate about our partner each day, it forces us to be on the lookout for the good in our partner. This is a skill that tends to go dormant in long-term relationships. and he will be looking for the good in you to express appreciation for. This alone can increase your desire for each other. How good would it feel to hear your partner saying the different things he appreciates about you every day? So again, the 3 steps are a 20-second hug followed by 10 seconds of kissing and 30 seconds, 15 each, sharing something you appreciate about each other. Now, I've given you the 3 steps to the 60-second passion igniter and how to implement each one. I hope you found this useful and understand why it's so powerfully effective. I highly recommend you put it into action immediately and do the 3 steps every day. It really does just take 60 seconds. It's the easiest, fastest thing you can do to move the needle toward a better sex life with your mate. Do it whether your sex life is in the toilet or it's going pretty well and you'd like to take it further. I guarantee it will ramp up the passion and deepen the intimacy in your relationship. Do you get how this could be a game changer for you? More trust, greater passion, deeper intimacy, and feeling really connected to and appreciated by your partner? How does that sound? The last private client I taught this to said he was having more frequent and more passionate sex with his wife within just a couple of days of starting the 60-second passion igniter. Now, doing the 60-second passion igniter is just the beginning of an exciting erotic adventure. It's just one tiny baby step toward establishing a foundation for telling each other what you really want in bed. As promised, I said, if you like this, I'll tell you how you can take it to the next level. Look, if you don't already have a habit of telling each other what you really want in bed, your secret erotic longings, it's probably because it's not an easy thing to do, unless you know how to do it the right way to avoid shame and rejection. There are 2 main components of telling each other what you really want in bed. There's telling each other what you want while you're having sex, and this is very important. You see, your brain is in a somewhat altered state while you're having sex, so you have to communicate differently while you're engaged in it. You can't just talk the way you normally would without breaking the flow. While you're having sex, there are specific things to say and not say, to do and not do, to help your partner help you feel safe so you can really let go into your arousal and response, and help him feel confident enough to receive your feedback and requests without bruising his ego, to help your partner give you the most pleasure possible and feel free enough to open up to you and let you know what he wants and needs to get even more turned on. And then there's the second component of telling each other what you really want in bed. This is the big kahuna. What about all those needs, desires, and hopes you don't have a chance to discuss while you're actually having sex? Things you'd like to try. What turns you on or off? Things you may even feel a little ashamed to bring up. Fantasies you've never shared with him. The things you wish he understood about you sexually. All the things you'd like to be able to discuss without risking his judgment or feeling embarrassed or like a slut. And how do you get him to feel safe enough to tell you the things he's been holding back about what he really wants and needs sexually? Perhaps because he's embarrassed or even a little ashamed of his desires or is afraid of risking your rejection. How do you get him to share his secret desires and sexual fantasies? How do you get him to buy into trying new things together, all without risking his rejection? Well, I'll tell you how. In fact, I'll teach you how to do both in a fun and easy way. You'll discover how to tell each other what you really want in bed, all the things you need to do before you get to the bedroom, and exactly how to communicate in the moment while you're making love to have the most electrifying and satisfying sexual experiences possible. How will I do this? I'll guide you through the entire process with my proprietary system, Intimate Communication. How to tell each other what you really want in bed to build trust and intimacy instead of embarrassment and rejection, and satisfy your deepest desires. Again, the 60-second Passion Igniter is just a first baby step, a powerful daily experience with your partner of verbal and nonverbal intimate communication that will serve you well. It establishes a foundation for telling each other what you really want in bed. And if you found this beneficial and enjoyed it, you're really going to like intimate communication. The Intimate Communication Program is a full-on adventure to share with your partner. It's packed with powerful, effective, and fun exercises to do together. The Passion Igniter is an example of just one of them. They get better and better. And when you share this program, I guarantee you will feel far more deeply connected. So your sex life and your sexual repertoire will expand in ways you may have given up hoping for, and expand in other ways you may not have even dreamed of. Delicious ways that will make sex exciting and deeply satisfying so that the two of you feel more deeply bonded. You'll feel like you have a little secret that would have you admired and envied by your friends, if they only knew. Imagine how you'll feel walking through the mall with a big ear-to-ear grin on your face as you replay in your mind the ways your partner is really satisfying your secret sexual desires. Finally. And the ways you're fulfilling his. Intimate communication gives you lightness and joy around your sexuality, a sense of wholeness and freedom with your partner, freedom to really be who you are sexually and get your needs met, energy and vitality for your work, your play, your family, for all aspects of your life. Intimate communication is an easy yet powerful step-by-step system in 5 modules. If this interests you, you'll be happy to know I'm having a limited time half-off sale on intimate communication. Yes, right now you can get the program for just half what others have paid for it. Others who are thrilled with the program at full price. Simply click the link or the big magenta button below this video to learn more and get intimate communication plus valuable bonuses that come with it for 50% off right now, for half off before the sale ends. Here's what a few people who participated in intimate communication at full price said about the program, starting with Teresa.
I've loved this program. I've loved doing it with Dave. We've had a really fun time, and makes me want to cry, but it's literally priceless. It cost me no money, but it gives me everything. So it's beautiful. I shared something with Dave I did not think I could. I was so surprised it was coming out of my mouth, and he was thrilled. And I was, for once, a different person saying these words. I was, something has happened. I've evolved or something, because I was not the person in the past that would be so defensive and guarded, and oh my God. So I mean, thank you.
It's opened up my ability, or Mika's and my ability to share with each other and to explore, for me to explore areas of sexuality that I had been afraid to, because I thought, might not be acceptable or might not be okay, or, my partner might hate me for it, whatever. And so a lot of that is, it's way, way easier now to communicate in this intimate communication. And it's around the area of sexuality, but also around money, family, things that we're working on together. It's just been very, very powerful. So it's been a big boost. So that's what the life-changing part of that is.
Oh, wow.
And our sexuality, from my point of view, is much, much more expanded from where it was. And
Jim Green, with a PhD in human relations, wrote me after he used the program saying, "Thank you, Ellen. You are a classy lady and you over-deliver. I love it. You're my inspiration. I hope to continue learning from you. You have a gift of making me feel comfortable." And here's Mika.
For the woman, there's a deep longing for the man to commit to that emotional expression. You're waiting for that emotional communication to come through. And then when it does, it's freeing, and it's incredible. It's an internal feast for me that happens. It's a celebration. It's an opening. It's a coming together. Really, it's a connection.
I had wanted open communication with her, not guarded communication. And
this is before the program, you mean?
Correct.
Okay.
And so, this really facilitated a lot of that stuff. I come historically from a family that didn't really talk a whole lot, and especially emotionally. So for us to communicate on this level was very freeing for me as well.
Dave Waller, married 27 years, also sent me an email to say, Ellen, when we first started this process, I had established as one of my desired outcomes an increased trust from Teresa. Her willingness to share her sexual desires and erotic fantasies with me during this module proves to me that we have achieved this desired outcome. I really felt loved and trusted during the process, and she enjoyed the absence of judgment. I believe that you and this workshop have opened up another level of communication and have taken the relationship, which I already thought was good, to a whole new level. It reminds me of the book Good to Great that states that most good companies don't become great because they feel good is enough. If you want to take your good or not so good relationship to great, get intimate communication. Go ahead and click the button below to learn all about the Intimate Communication Program and get it for half price for a very limited time. As always, I offer a very generous 60-day, 100% money-back satisfaction guarantee, which is 3 weeks longer than it takes to complete the program. If you're not completely satisfied with this program, if it doesn't give you exactly what I promise and much, much more, I don't want to keep your money. Just send me an email and I'll give you a full refund. You can process your order by credit card or PayPal using our high-safety encrypted secure socket layer payment processor. Be sure to act quickly if you want the joys of intimate communication at half price. Won't it be nice to know that for the duration of your relationship together, you'll be living sexually happy ever after?